In 1536, the alchemist Umberto Oganelli disembarked in Veracruz, Mexico, fleeing the Inquisition. As the viceroy's official watchmaker, Oganelli was motivated to create an invention that would give him the key to endless life. He was supposed to call it the Cronos gadget. 400 years later, on a dark night in 1937, a section of a building's wall fell. A guy with an extraordinary complexion, the color of marble in moonlight, was among the casualties, his chest gravely punctured. Sua tempori were his final words. This person was the alchemist. The authorities tracked down the deceased man's home. What they discovered there was never completely disclosed to the public. The home and its furnishings were auctioned off after a brief examination. The Cronos gadget was never listed on any list or inventory. It never existed, as far as anyone knew. What the people did not know was that a human guy was discovered hanging from his feet, his blood seeping into a basin. The Cronos device was also unknown to the public, save for a dying millionaire called de la Guardia, who would go to any length to get it. It was hidden under the base of an archangel statue. De la Guardia had spent his life collecting old statues of the archangel, constantly looking for the concealed Cronos device, so far in vain, until the day the archangel appeared at Jesus' Greece antique shop. Yes, it has been purchased by Jesus Greece. Jesus takes up an oval mechanical item. It's the Cronos gadget, a golden watch shaped like a metal scarab. Jesus and his granddaughter Aurora discover the gadget. Angel de la Guardia is informed of the location of the angel statue. In turn, he informs his billionaire uncle, de la Guardia. De la Guardia is determined to obtain the angel statue at whatever cost. Angel buys it for him. Jesus wishes to keep Cronos' device. He initiates the machine's motion. It appears secure at first, but soon 6 cockroach-like legs protrude from the watch and pierce his hand. He doesn't let Aurora get too close to the creature. His lover, Mercedes, a tango instructor, is tending to his wound. She removes a type of metal sting from his hand and stitches him up. Jesus isn't feeling good at night. He goes to the fridge to get some water, but what catches his eye is the brilliant red meat. Jesus is agitated. He starts the watch once more. A 4th string emerges from the watch's rear side. The sun was shining brightly outside that morning. The curtains are drawn by Jesus. His face becomes longer, but he shaves and tells his lover that he looks younger since he kept his white-haired mustache. The business will be vandalized when Jesus comes. He offends Angel. He is disappointed since the archangel statue is hollow and empty. De la Guardia informs him about the Cronos mechanism's history. He also confesses that he is dying as a result of his illness and that no medication has worked thus far. Jesus is determined not to lose the Cronos. Jesus rushes away from the terrace in search of Aurora after realizing she is in danger. Aurora has taken the Cronos to play with. When he finds Aurora, he notices that she is terrified and tries to hide from him. Perhaps she is terrified of him. In any case, she stops playing with her toy and runs away from him. He attempts to soothe her. She has concealed the Cronos within her teddy bear. Jesus immediately uses the Cronos once more, this time on his chest. Jesus is still unsure about the nature of the Cronos, but he believes they are helping him. His chest incision is already leaking mucus, and his eyes feel strange. Mercedes demands that he leave the restroom and accompany her to the New Year's Eve celebration. Aurora joins them, but she typically stays by herself, silent as always. During the party, a man is injured and begins to bleed profusely. Jesus can't help but follow the man to the Gentiles. They have a light chat, but Jesus can't take his eyes off the spilt blood. He goes down on the ground and licks a blood smear. While he's doing that, he's knocked out by a kick. Everyone else is celebrating the countdown to the first day of the year. Meanwhile, Jesus is forced out of the location of the party. He awakens in a car with Angel, who beats him severely. Angel is determined to find the Cronos. Jesus inquires as to why they desire it. An angel abandons Jesus unconscious. An angel forces the automobile, which has Jesus inside, down a cliff. Tito, a funeral worker, is preparing Jesus' body for burial. He is informed that he will be incinerated, rendering all of his wonderful artistic work meaningless. De la Guardia chastises his nephew for failing to obtain the scarab, implying that Jesus is still alive. An angel arrives at the funeral home and attempts to awaken Jesus by shutting his nostrils. Angel abandons him for dead. It's quite cold. It's late at night. Jesus goes about bewildered and confused, with a gray, damaged face. He comes to a halt at a garbage can and sees his own obituary written on it. Jesus attempts to call Mercedes. Mercedes hangs up when he finally speaks out. Jesus hobbles home. It's Christmas, and there are decorations on the streets and in his building's main hall. Aurora opens the door for him and hands him a towel. Jesus employs the Cronos technique once more. He is sensitive to sunlight, so he hides under an old trunk. Aurora continues to play while painting the trunk. Jesus composes a lengthy letter to Mercedes. Jesus' expression is much worse. When Jesus returns to de la Guardia's warehouse, he realizes Aurora has followed him. He attempts to scare her away. She discovers Umberto Oganelli's little book. Some pages are missing, and de la Guardia claims to have eaten them. De la Guardia removes some hanging flesh off Jesus' face, which now feels metallic. De la Guardia answers the phone for his son. Angel is irritated because his uncle is bothering him. De la Guardia informs Jesus that he requires the artifact in order to survive, as well as blood. Jesus shows him the Cronos and requests his leave. He is weighed by de la Guardia. He resists Jesus, but Aurora strikes him with a big stick. Jesus awakens. Angel comes and attempts to converse with his uncle. Jesus consumes the blood of de la Guardia. Angel exits the lift to see his uncle dead. Jesus and Aurora have gone into hiding. Angel is overjoyed because everything will be his. However, de la Guardia asks for his assistance at that point, but his nephew kills him because he is tired of being kept waiting. Jesus and Aurora pounced on Angel. They sprint across the roofs. He urges her granddaughter to escape by climbing down the facade's ladder. An angel smacks Jesus. His victim appears weak and helpless to fight himself. He can only crawl away from him. To put a stop to the situation, Jesus throws himself on Angel's body, knocking him to the ground. Aurora starts the mechanism. A big bag within the scarab gives Jesus life. Aurora strokes Jesus' damaged face. Jesus takes off his own skin. Aurora felt a little hurt, so she cracked her lip. She gives her blood to Jesus, who eventually decides to reject it after much struggle. Jesus screams "No!" and pulls the Cronos from his chest. He breaks it into bits with a stone. He keeps saying his own name again and again. Aurora, Jesus' granddaughter, weeps as he dies, and the story ends. Subscribe for more videos like this. Turn on notifications and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.